We are the Pop Culture Junkie podcast. My name is Shauna. Today I am joined by my fellow Pop Culture Junkie,
Nicole.
We are missing our third Olivia today, but she's here in spirit. Can you guys tell which one I am up there? I know, it's really... I'm the blonde one, absolutely. So today's episode is a live podcast, and then you can listen to it later on your favorite podcast streaming networks. We're going to be on Spotify, Pandora, Apple Podcasts, all that good stuff. Oh, I'm being really loud. He's just going to take a nap. All right, that was the theme music. I am Shauna.
I'm Nicole.
This is Pop Culture Junkie Podcast live from Phoenix Fan Fusion. Hello, dear audience. Thank you for coming. Thank you. See some great outfits out here today. I am Marnie from Pokemon Sword and Shield. Nicole is just a sunshine baby goddess.
Yeah, sorry guys. I've been up since 2 a.m., so I didn't have much effort to put into.
Why have you been up since 2 a.m.? Are you like on a bender? Like what's going on?
I flew in from Utah today, so that's
so
why.
Obviously a Utah bender.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a wedding last night in Utah, so.
Congratulations.
Well, I didn't get married. It wasn't my wedding. It was a friend's wedding, but.
If you flew in to do this podcast the next day after your wedding, it would just show how dedicated you are.
I just love this podcast so much that I probably would, so.
Your spouse is just waiting outside for the honeymoon,
Yeah.
like, come. Nicole, Jesus.
This is my honeymoon.
This is that with me.
Yeah.
It's very romantic. This is just how much we love each other. As I mentioned, we're missing our third Olivia. She is on a fabulous California vacation on a beach somewhere, so I'm not even mad at it. For this panel and this episode, we're talking about TV shows that were canceled way too soon.
And by that, we just mean that, yeah, they were canceled when they were basically kind of in their prime, or just they were left on a cliffhanger that we didn't get to see what happened next in the show.
So some of these might have been on for 1 season, 2 seasons. We're not showing or talking about anything that was canceled after 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, even though we really love them and miss them. I wish there was more seasons of Buffy, but enough was enough.
And what we want to do is name Pop Culture Junkies Gone Too Soon. Are you guys all up for that?
All right, perfect. We're also not counting shows that we, like Community or Veronica Mars Arrested Development, Party Down, where they were canceled, but then they kind of went to another network, or maybe they got a movie afterwards, things like that, because we got a little bit of closure with those. These are things that we have no idea how they're going to end, and we have to trust the fanfic to finish it off for us, or our own thoughts.
All right.
All right. Am I going first?
I say you go first.
Okay, let's see here. My first show. Okay, I'm taking a little back for this one. It was 2003. I was in high school, just, putting my age out there for a little bit. Joan of Arcadia. Did anybody watch that show? Really? Oh my God, thank you. I get one Joan of Arcadia fan. Okay, so this show starred Amber Tamblyn. She's in like Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. And the theme song was, I don't know if I can sing this, but I'm going to anyway. What if God was one of us? Do, 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 blue, blue, blue. Yeah, if there's copyright infringement, we'll cut that out. But that was the theme song, and it's basically about this 16-year-old girl who can talk to God. And it's not as preachy religious sounding as it sounds. She's in all these different situations where God either shows up as like the cute boy at school, or it can be the cafeteria lady or a guy at a bus stop, and just kind of puts her on these different missions. And in the beginning, she doesn't know why God is telling her to do these things, but in the end, there's always a lesson learned. It had a pretty stacked cast. Jason Ritter plays her brother. She first prays to God because he was in like a serious car accident and he's wheelchair bound, and she wants to cure him, have him walk again. I don't think that's how curing your wheelchair boundness works, but whatever. The show was nominated for Emmys, Outstanding Drama Series. I mean, it was going really well until the ratings dropped, and that thing was canceled after 45 episodes. And right after, there's this huge bad guy who shows up who is probably the devil. And he has like a smirk at the end of the episode. Joan's boyfriend just cheated on her because she wasn't ready to get physical with him yet. She's 16. Pump your brakes, bro. Come on. And the show just ends, and we never find out what happens.
Wow.
I know.
What a cliffhanger.
Yeah. I mean, Amber Tamblyn went on to have a good career. I love her, and Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. I don't know. That's like my comfort movie. But yeah, in my head, Joan defeats the devil, and all of us are just in God's light for the rest of our days, thanks to her.
Yeah, I've definitely heard of that show, but in 2003, I was not in high school.
Were you even alive in 2003?
Yeah. I was 6.
Oh my God. Hello.
So I just put my age out there, but
yeah, it was a good show. It was a good show. I don't know where you can find it streaming, but I recommend if you want to be left on a tragic cliffhanger for things I just spoiled for you, Joan of Arcadia is it.
nice.
Yeah. What's your first show?
My first show, it was on ABC Family. It also had a very big cliffhanger that was big. I don't know. I wish there was another season or just another spin-off show that I could have definitely seen what happened. It was Make It or Break It. And it was about these 3 gymnasts. There ended up being 4. A newcomer came on in season 1. These 4 gymnasts were training at this gymnastics gym called, my gosh, I can't think of it right now.
The gymnastics gym.
Yeah. And they were all training to be on the 2012 Summer Olympics team. And they training and ended up having injuries. So this one girl ended up having surgery. This other girl, Emily, she was the newcomer. She ended up working at a pizza joint to get by because she just came from a low-income family. So she had to work at this pizza joint to get by, and she was not obviously one of the popular gymnasts there because she did not come from the wealthier family in
That
this
always
town.
cracks me up in shows. It reminds me of like in Cinderella Story, that Hilary Duff
Yes.
movie, when they all make fun of her for being a waitress.
Basically, it's kind of like the movie Stick It, like where the new girl kind of came in and she obviously had a criminal history.
Yeah.
And so, but she was the best gymnast on the team.
If you were made fun of in high school for having a part-time job,
Yeah.
like I would have been so ridiculed.
Yeah,
I worked
like-
at Rubio's, like,
Yeah, no, she was just
you
trying to
have a
make
job
money.
and make money. What a dork.
Yeah, but she was the one with the gymnastics scholarship. So, but nobody knew that. But then this girl ended up finding out that she had the scholarship. So then the dad got mad, told off the coach. Things got
It reminds me of like
Stuff
Friday Night
there,
Lights kind
yeah.
of thing, like sports drama youths.
yeah.
Some
so-
of them might have like had like sexual relations and drank underage alcohol.
Well, yeah, the gymnast's
There it is.
boyfriends cheated with the other gymnasts.
There it is.
One of the dad of the girl who found out about the scholarship cheated on the mom of the girl with the scholarship.
Scholarship and
Stuff got messy.
Okay, got it. I got
Basically,
it.
the
I'm
end
tracking.
basically the end of the series ended with 3 of the gymnasts getting selected to go to the Olympics, but you never find out about the Olympics and if any of the girls won medals. You're just left on that cliffhanger.
Was it like
of
low
them.
ratings?
Yeah, so that's what ended it. I think the lowest ratings was like 1.8 million ratings, which sounds like a lot, but if you think about everybody in America, that's super duper low, especially with ABC Family, which is now Freeform.
Oh, it is
But
pretty fun. Okay.
yeah, so that's why it ended. It's super sex. I did gymnastics when I was younger, so obviously I was super into it. Stick It is one of my favorite movies.
Aw.
So I was super into it, and once it ended, I was so sad. It ran for 3 seasons, but
Did you cheat on your boyfriend's coach's dad's mother's sister with her coach's sister?
all the time. That's how I made it to City
I thought
every
so.
year.
I thought so. I see
Yeah.
that about you.
Yeah.
Well, I hope they made it to the Olympics, and I
Yeah.
hope they all got gold.
You know, I do
medals.
too, but guess we'll never know.
Somebody write Make It or Break It fanfic.
Let's do it. Who wants to help me write a series? We'll probably make so much money, honestly. So
I'm just going to make it really tacky and disgusting because I
come
don't know
up here after
anything
the
about
show.
gymnastics.
Yeah, just come up here after the show. We'll start rating something.
Like Susan did a cartwheel.
Yeah, literally.
That's all I got. Okay, my second show is one that I feel like a lot of you have probably watched. Jessica Jones. Okay, there we go. There we get some claps. So Jessica Jones chronicles the life of a Marvel character. The mysterious Jessica Jones, played by Kristen Ritter, who I am obsessed with. And she has superpowers, super strength, though we don't get to see a lot of it in the show. I mean, we can see that she's really strong and can jump really high. And she is facing off against Kilgrave in the first season, the amazing David Tennant in that purple suit. I love Jessica Jones so much. I really hope that they bring her back for the rest of the MCU. Hi, new people. I just think she's so badass, and I mean, I love any hot girl, black hair, and a leather jacket. Let's go. Listen.
Really?
Why do I love Jessica Jones so much? So it went for 3 seasons. The later seasons saw her sister / best friend kind of go to the darker side, and she ends up in jail at the end of season 3, and it just kind of ends. And I guess as MCU fans in here, we know that the Netflix MCU shows were all canceled because Disney Plus is where all the Disney shows go now. But, I mean, we're seeing Daredevil come into the MCU. And I think I heard that the Punisher is going to be, the John Bernthal Punisher is going to be in the new Daredevil show too. So it kind of gives hope for Luke Cage, for Jessica Jones to join the MCU. And Kristen Ritter posts a lot of pictures on her Instagram with the other actors from the show. She's clearly still friends with them. She knows what she's doing, dude. She knows.
They always do.
She's given us little nuggets for us like to just salivate over. She posted one recently with, the guy who plays Luke Cage, and I'm blanking on his name. Mike Coulter, thank you. Super handsome guy. And called him like me and Power Man, and it's like, okay, come on, dude. You guys are obviously coming back. But she hasn't announced anything yet. But you can watch all 3 seasons of Jessica Jones on Disney Plus. They're all on there. Did you guys like, all those shows? Did you like Daredevil?
I like Daredevil.
Got some Daredevil fans. Okay. Luke Cage? All right. Iron Fist? Oh, it's weird. Go a little quiet. I feel like that's... Or the Defenders. Okay, the first season of the Defenders is whatever. I started the Punisher series, never ended up finishing it. Now I feel like I should because John Bernthal is coming back and he's just nice to look at too. Yeah, I don't know what was up with Iron Fist. Maybe it was white boy learning. I don't know, like Asian culture felt a little weird and appropriative, or it's just a little cheesy. But Jessica Jones, we're hoping you come back. It lasted it was 39 episodes. The seasons were all kind of short, but all right. R.I.P. Jessica Jones. Hope we can resurrect you from the grave.
Sounds like it, maybe.
I know. Maybe.
Cross my fingers for you.
Thank you, baby.
Yeah.
Sunshine, baby.
Anything for you.
Thank you. Yeah. That's why we're married.
Yeah.
What's your second one, Nicole?
Oh my gosh. Okay, these shows are showing my age.
I don't care. It's adorable that you like this show, and I want to hear you talk about it all the time. Let's go.
Okay, my second show is Zoe 101 from Nickelodeon.
I see some nods. Nods. They
I'm
don't want to
glad.
cheer because
I'm
they're
glad. Yeah, so Zoe 101 with Jamie Lynn Spears.
Never heard of her.
Yeah, I don't know if we say her name, but I like that show. It was cute. It made me want to go to California. I do now because it's such an easy place to get to. I grew up in Chicago, so it was a little more difficult growing up to get to.
A little more exotic.
Yeah, I had to fly there rather than just drive 6 hours to get there. But definitely loved that show. Was not the school that I went to for sure. I mean, I don't know if it made you want to go to school, but definitely made me want to go to that school.
What does it even what do they even do? Is it just the life of teenagers going to school?
So I don't even think they were like I think she was a teenager, but her brother Dustin, he was like probably, I don't know how old he actually
It's so funny. They have like
was.
35-year-old people
Yeah,
playing teenagers.
I know.
They have like a 5 o'clock shadow.
Literally, but I think her brother was probably, I don't know, I'm probably gonna get this so wrong, but like 6, 7, 8 years old going to school there. But they had like dorms they were staying in.
What?
Yeah, and it was in Southern California. They never actually said what school it was, but we all believe it was Pepperdine University. That show was based in Malibu, California. So obviously this made the school look absolutely stunning because that campus is beautiful. I've never been, but I had a friend that went there, and every time she posted pictures, it
Shout
was
out
beautiful.
Pepperdine.
Yeah, but anyways, besides the point. The show ran for 4 seasons. If you don't know why it ended, Jamie Lynn Spears did end up getting pregnant at 16 years old, so that's why the show ended.
I think they should have wrote that into the script. I think that would have been so bold of Nickelodeon to
It
be
would have
like,
been bold, honestly.
teenage pregnancy, we're tackling that right here.
Gosh, I don't even know. I feel like that would have been. I feel like at that time it wasn't as not. I don't know. It would have been.
People would have clutched their pearls really hard.
Yeah, at that time it wasn't as prominent or normal as it is
Yeah.
now, I suppose.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I mean,
it
we had
definitely
that
would have
show.
been 16 and pregnant.
Yeah.
Yeah, or Teen Mom, I guess. Yeah, so it would have been a little different. But gosh, Dan Schneider, if we mention that name in this room, I don't know. Sorry if that triggers anyone. But
Boo Dan Schneider.
yeah,
and
definitely.
Boo kind of Jamie Lynn Spears now. Oh my God,
Yeah.
if Olivia was here right now, she would have so much to say about Jamie Lynn
Yes.
Spears. We are big Britney stans at the Pop Culture Junkie podcast. So hashtag free Britney.
Yes, we do have a whole Britney episode. So if you want to go to our website, we do have a full Britney episode.
Look
so go
at
listen
her
to that.
with the branding. I love it.
Yes, this is about the Gone Too Soon episode.
This is focus. Focus.
But yeah, the show ran from 2005 to 2008. Had 61 episodes.
Okay.
But honestly, the cast seemed to get along super well. I did like Jamie Lynn Spears as an actress in that show. She was super cute.
She looked just like Britney too.
Yeah.
So cute.
Yeah. Gosh, gotta get pregnant. And ruin
You
it,
had to
and
go
the
like
show
you're
had to
teenage
end.
pregnant.
Yeah, but I don't know why, but I sat like when I was reading through all of this and actually thinking about it, I was like, wow, like she got pregnant at 16. That's so young to like just start your life as a mom.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
don't know.
shout out to any of the young
Yeah,
moms out there.
honestly.
Mad respect.
Yeah.
I couldn't have done it.
Yeah, but her
I'm
daughter's so
34 and
cute.
I still don't have my shit together.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But
children
definitely-
in the audience.
I did honestly kind of forget how it fully ended, if they did end it on a cliffhanger or if they did end it in a way.
Where they expected another season to come. Yeah.
I'll be honest, I totally forgot how it ended, but
We'll
it is
just have
on
to watch it on
Netflix.
Paramount Plus. Oh, it's
Yeah.
on Netflix.
I think it is on Netflix or it's on Paramount Plus. I know iCarly is on Netflix.
And
then
iCarly has
the new
like a new
iCarly
thing.
series is on
Yeah.
Paramount Plus. But we're digressing off this topic. I apologize.
This is what we do on the Pop Culture Junkie podcast. We just
get off
digress a
topic.
lot.
But yeah, R.I.P. Zoe 101. I will probably have to watch it again to see how it ends. So I remember.
Oh my God, do it.
I will.
Absolutely. I love going back and watching old shows like that. I loved the original, like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. And obviously that wasn't Gone Too Soon. I feel like that probably dragged a lot longer than it needed to. But I realized I never saw how it ended. And so I went back when I was much older and just like watched the final scene. She ends up with Harvey, if anybody, obviously. But they had been broken up for like 10 years. I don't know.
Let's see. I do have it up. Let's see if it says in here. Yeah, I don't know. I have a website up.
Well, everybody go
I
watch.
don't know.
Everybody go watch Zoe 101.
Yeah, I'll
Make
update
Zoe
you in a
102.
future episode on how it ends. So be sure to listen to our podcast in the future.
There you go. All right, my third show and final one that I'm going to mention for today is from Mike Flanagan, who I love. He made Midnight Mass, Haunting of Bly Manor, Haunting of Hill House. Made a show called The Midnight Club on Netflix. Did anybody watch that show? Yes, Midnight Club stands. I really liked this show. It was clearly Mike Flanagan kind of dipping his toes into young adult territory where the other shows were kind of more geared towards, I think, an older audience or adults. This was a hospice care of terminally ill young adults. They form a midnight club. So all of these teenagers know they're going to die. They live in this house together. And at midnight, they go into the basement and tell each other scary stories. It's really a beautiful show, and it's just them kind of coming to terms with the fact that they all know they're going to die. Some of them have cancer, some of them have HIV, just unspecified diseases. Our main character, it kind of follows her as she thinks that maybe she's not going to die for a split second. There is a house outside or like a cult or something outside who's trying to convince her that maybe she's like a chosen one who's actually going to live. Spoiler alert, I don't think that's going to be the case. The other Mike Flanagan shows on Netflix did incredibly well with numbers and ratings. A lot of them, are not continuing because they're all kind of one season series, but this one was definitely something that Mike Flanagan wanted to continue with. He told us all, though, let me pull up his Tumblr post, we're going to Tumblr, that if Midnight Club got canceled, he was going to spill the beans on everything that was going to happen in season 2. So he said in season 2 what was going to happen, it was canceled due to numbers and low ratings because Netflix is just like pulling the life support off of shows if they don't hit that magic Netflix threshold. He said that Ilanka was going to die, the main character. Kevin was going to die, the guy that she kissed in the last episode. And then one by one, everyone in the show was going to slowly die and kind of come to terms with it. And the character who had HIV the show's set in the 90s, and so he was going to start getting life-saving treatment and actually be able to be okay and leave the hospice, live his life. And then the 2 ghost characters we see kind of floating throughout the house in the series, Mike Flanagan said that the 2 main characters are reincarnated versions of those ghosts, and that they always find each other in every life. Oh, wow. And so they die, and then they find each other. It kind of reminds me of Hawk Girl and Hawkman, I think, and The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow. Oh my God, Hot Guy. Nicole used to think when I said Hawkeye that I was saying hot guy. Which is kind of cool. Jeremy Renner is a hot guy. But anyway, these 2 ghosts are like the reincarnated versions of these young teenagers living in this house. And so they keep dying and being reincarnated and coming back and finding each other, which is kind of sweet. The show was canceled. We're looking forward to the next Mike Flanagan show. My boy Rahul Kohli is going to be on it. And I don't know when it's going to come out, but apparently they finished filming Haunting of Something Something. So yay, more in Mike Flanagan's jump scares on Netflix. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. If you like some spooky stuff, check out all of those shows. All right, what's your final show, Nicole, before we throw it to our audience?
Yeah, my final show is Big Sky. It's pretty recent, actually. It came out during the pandemic. And
it's already canceled?
Yeah, numbers.
I guess, that's like Midnight Club, too.
Had 3 seasons. It is an American crime drama created by David E. Kelly and based on the Highway series of books by C.J. Box. Starred Catherine Winnick as Jenny Hoyt, an ex-cop who, despite being separated from her husband, still does freelance work for his agency.
I love how that happens in all these ABC shows. They're violently divorced. God, I'm still forced to work with you every day. Oops, we slept together.
Honestly, yeah. She later rejoins the Lewis and Clark County Sheriff's Office as a deputy detective. It ran for 3 seasons, had 47 episodes. Ryan Felipe was in season 1 as Cody Hoyt, a troubled former cop who runs a private detective agency.
Ryan Felipe.
Yeah.
Felipe?
I don't know. I read Felipe, so I apologize if I pronounced that wrong.
I like it. He's cute.
With his partner Cassie, Kylie Bunbury. Again, aired on ABC. It's right up my alley. I am a crime junkie. I love true crime, anything crime related.
Tell them all your favorite show.
Law and Order SVU.
There it is.
Organized crime. That one is definitely not a gone too soon. It's still on. Once it does end, it's on
seasons.
24 seasons. So
we should do a follow-up episode. Great idea. Write this down, producers. Shows that went on way too long.
That will not be one, but Grey's Anatomy's one. I am so sorry.
Once upon a time. Okay, go ahead.
But this show, season 1, hooked me. So if you want to get hooked, I believe every season's different. The storylines are completely different, but season 1 hooked me. There's a twist in one, so season 1, these two sisters are kidnapped on a road trip while the one sister is like traveling to visit her boyfriend. They are, why can't I think of the word? They are not caught. They are
Arrested.
Found. They're found in the back of a semi truck of a
Alive?
driver. Yes, they're alive, but they realize that more girls were kidnapped, not just these two girls were kidnapped. So now they are searching for these other girls, but then there's a twist that there's more people involved, and I believe a cop's wife is involved with the kidnapping. So it's just all crazy stuff, and it's always like there's always dirty cops out there, and this is a show that puts it out there. So, but
Okay, Big
Yeah.
Sky. Why was it called Big Sky?
that's a great question. It was based in, I believe,
Montana? Big Sky,
yeah,
Montana?
Yes.
I answered my own
Yeah,
question.
yeah. See, you didn't even need me for that one.
Is anyone from Montana? Oh, I have one in the back. No, I don't.
You should have left that in there. You shouldn't even said
Oh,
it.
thanks, Montana. Yeah.
We got a full crowd. You should have just left it.
A full crowd full of everyone from Montana. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it was
that
a
sounds like
really good show. I was kind of sad that it ended, but again, it aired during COVID, so COVID kind of
Sucked.
quote unquote ended
Oh, yeah.
during the third
It's done
season. So I guess everyone got on with their lives once the third season came. So no one really needed to watch shows anymore because
None
their
of
lives
us watch television
yeah,
anymore.
their lives went on. So everyone
I
got
haven't
on with
watched
their
a show
lives.
since I had COVID.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
laid in bed for 2 weeks.
Their lives went on, so it ended because of ratings. But
Yeah.
I'd highly recommend the first season at least if you want to watch something. I don't know. I think it's like a handful of episodes, but
All right.
really good twist in there.
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah.
All right. Water break.
Yeah.
I really am taking a water break. Remember to hydrate, especially if you're at Phoenix Comic-Con living in Arizona. All right, now I want to throw it out to the audience a little bit. I know you guys probably have some shows that you watched 1 season, 2, 3 seasons that ended that you're sad about, and I want to hear what they are. Front row, what's your name?
My name's Ash.
Her name's Ashley. What is your show, Ashley?
Since 8.
Since 8. What is Since 8 about?
Since 8 was on Netflix for 1 season, and then there was a Christmas special. But they never brought it back. So it was these 8 people, and they lived all around the world, and they all had different cool skills. But their brains were all kind of connected, and they could mind jump into other bodies. And so if you were there was one lady, she was a martial arts expert, and so her brain, she could transfer her skills to another person in this network, and they could be badass martial artists for the extent of time that they were warping into each other's brains.
That sounds sick. What was it on?
Netflix.
It was on Netflix. And was it 1 season?
1 season and a Christmas episode.
I love a good
Screw.
Christmas episode.
I did pull it up.
Since I have heard
Okay.
about it, and I've heard of a lot of people I've had a lot of people you gotta watch this, you gotta watch this.
Maybe it's not. This one's 2 seasons, so maybe I pulled the wrong one up.
The Christmas episode counts as a whole
I think
season.
The Christmas episode counts as the 2nd season.
But it's full, the 2nd season's 12 episodes. So maybe I'm wrong. I probably pulled up the wrong one.
Maybe you guys should fight in the hallway after this episode.
Nope,
So-
I don't want to call out my audience. My audience is probably smarter than me.
2 seasons, but I was not aware of the 2nd.
I love getting in fist fights with the audience.
I was just trying to help out, but don't mind me.
Anybody else have any shows that you miss and you wish weren't canceled?
I'm going to go ahead.
Oh, dang.
I was gonna say Freaks and Geeks.
Yes, dude.
What's your name? What's your name?
Oh, Gabby.
Gabby.
Gabby said Freaks and Geeks.
Yes.
I completely agree. Honest, it was 1 season, right? 2? Oh my God. That show was such a jumping point for so many careers, and it got really amazing ratings, and everybody loved it. It was kind of like a cultural touchstone, and then it just, boop, done. I don't understand what happens to shows like that sometimes, but
Yeah.
I'm going to admit, I've never watched Freak. I think I've seen 1 episode, and I know I should.
I think they stream it on Hulu, but it's really good. It's one of those that I've heard about.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch when it came out. So I went back and I watched it, but it was just you just connect with the characters, and it's everyone goes through that awkward high school
Yeah.
figure themselves out. So it would just have been nice to like see it pan out, to see, you know, when they graduated, where they would have ended up or whatever. So it was, yeah.
Did it kind of end on a cliffhanger too?
Kind of, yeah, just like literally like
Just done.
That's it.
Ah, it's the worst.
What was the cliffhanger? What was the cliffhanger?
honestly, I can't remember. I think it was like just like a normal episode, just like, all right, like.
That's the worst
That
too.
was it, yeah, like there was nothing really like no build up or anything like that.
Yeah, nothing exciting happens. It's just like a day, and then all of a sudden the show just ends.
So if you didn't hear that podcast recording, you could stream it on Hulu.
Oh, you can stream it on Hulu. I'm gonna watch that. I'm adding it to the list. Husband, add it to the list. Anybody else have any shows that were canceled too soon? I saw a couple more hands. Cowboy Hat. Dark Crystal. Jim Henson show Dark Crystal on Netflix with puppets. Oh my God, our old co-host Haley. Shout out Haley, I know you're listening. Woo! Loved the Muppets. Oh my God. It was canceled like one season kind of thing?
Well, first it was a movie from like the 80s, and then they did a reboot. Like, not, they did a prequel
Oh,
thing. That was a Netflix series. So
younger puppets.
and they're going to do a second season, and then Netflix is dropping.
Oh, that sucks. I've already said it too. It's fine.
Yeah.
Is anybody a child in the audience today? I think we're good. Okay, we can say shit. That sounds cool. You know, I feel like I've heard of the 80s movie, but I've never seen it. But God, a Jim Henson show. I mean, that kind of reminds me of the Muppets had a show on like NBC years ago, and it was kind of supposed to be like The Office. Like they all do their little like Muppet interviews, and it's like they're all just kind of living their life. I think working in an
never heard of
office.
that.
And it's kind of more adult oriented. I remember some kind of like tongue in cheek, kind of naughty jokes. And I think that was canceled after one season too.
Interesting.
I thought it was funny. I don't know, but we know I like a naughty Muppet.
That is true. Another episode.
Another episode shout out, naughty Muppets. I did see you raise your hand about a show, Andrew. So now I'm going to put you on blast.
Yeah, this is gonna be really, like, I don't have a lot of information.
It's fine. It's fine.
Reason why, Dark Angel.
Dark. Oh my God, he loves Dark Angel.
No, well, that's the thing, is I love Jessica Alba growing up, and when the show came out, I was grounded, and I couldn't watch it, and then it got canceled, and I was like, well, there's no reason to watch it.
I want you to admit to the audience why you first started watching it in the first place, though.
No, I love Jessica Alba.
Yeah, just because he loves. She's so pretty.
Yeah, I was my crush when I was
He made me watch this stupid movie like Idle Hands or something. I don't know if anyone's ever seen Seth Green and like the devil possesses their hands. Idle Hands or the Devil's Playground, and she's in it, and she's really pretty. But yeah, Dark Angel. I do remember that being a show that looked cool because I just like pretty girls who kick ass. I don't know. It's my thing. Fox cancels
That is true.
everything, man. Or they just let things go on way too long. There's no nice middle ground.
Honestly, though.
Yeah. I feel like I like it when shows go out and they're on top. Like,
Yeah.
you know that it's incredible. Like, Breaking Bad. Little hot take here. I consider Breaking Bad to be the greatest show ever made. Like, from beginning to end, I think that is the greatest show on television. My favorite show of all time is Buffy the Vampire Slayer. But, like, perfect episodes every single time, Breaking Bad. And I feel like it ended exactly at the right point. Not too soon, not too late. Do you have any shows like that where you feel like, yeah, it's okay that it ended?
No.
That's your favorite show, but you still feel like it
I'm
kind of
giving
went on a little
Ashley
long?
the death stare right now after she just said that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm just joking. No, Friends I think ended at a good point. I could see how you think it probably went on a little too long, maybe like a couple seasons too long. Or do
Yeah.
you think like it went on like too long?
No, just like maybe a season.
I could see that.
I feel like it went on maybe like 7 seasons too long, 8 seasons too long. I'm just kidding. I like Friends. I did.
A show I think that ended at a good point that maybe could have went on like 1 or 2 seasons longer is Mom.
Oh, with
Anna
Cutie
Faris.
McCute. Yeah, there you go.
That show was so funny, but I think that ended at a good point. Anna Faris left, so they kind of had to end because she was the main character. But
Yeah, that makes
I
sense.
feel like that one ended at a good time.
It also makes me laugh when the main character leaves the show, and for some reason the showrunners want to milk that extra like few seasons
That's
out
exactly
of.
what they did.
Oh my God, like the OC. Did anybody watch the OC? Come on. Okay, I like you. You watched all of the stupid dumb shit that I watched. The OC. Okay, so Marissa, one of the main characters, she's like the main love interest in the show, dies in a car accident.
Oh, wow.
At the end of season 3, I think, in Ryan's arms. And that would have been the perfect spot to end the show. And for some reason, they milk another season out of it. He gets another girlfriend who is this girl you never would have expected him with, like this very, like, the class president, I don't know. There was no reason. I think Misha, what was her name? Misha Barton? No, Misha Barton wanted to go on and have some fabulous movie career, and we all see how that turned out for Misha Barton. Who? So, yeah, that show, oh, God. Well, I don't know why they milked another season out of that. And then Once Upon a Time, Jennifer Morrison left the show. She was literally the main character of this show. And they were like, nah, man, we can get one more season. And they get rid of like most of the cast except for Captain Hook, the evil queen, and Rumpelstiltskin, and put them into another alternate universe in the future. And then she comes back for like a cameo. It's so dumb. I couldn't watch it. It was painful. I don't know. Do you guys have any shows that you think ended at the right spot? Avatar: The Last Airbender. What happened at the end?
They defeated Fire Lord Ozai.
Did it go on for a really long time, like the whole show, or was it like, okay, this is good?
No, it ended where it should have. Like they had set it up as like 3 separate like seasons, and their plan was always to end after Avatar Aang defeated Fire Lord Ozai, and they did.
I love that.
They tied it up, and they later made another separate, The Legend of Korra, but they did that to its completion too. They didn't mess around with on, non.
Yeah, I like that. Ah, man, there's a lot of animes and stuff too, I guess I could speak to, where it's like, they keep going for so many episodes, and I know that's because there's so many issues of the manga that come out. But sometimes there's those filler episodes that you're just like, oh man, I can't watch this stuff. Like this could have ended so much sooner than it did. Like Bleach, my cosplay yesterday. Oh my God, that thing went on for so long. Jeez.
I do have an honorary Gone Too Soon that I've never watched.
Ooh, okay.
But it was mentioned when we were prepping.
Okay.
I don't know if anyone in the audience has watched it, heard of it, but it was the weirdest show. Kyle XY.
He had no belly button.
Yeah.
Take this show.
I've never watched it, but
I
it's
see
just an
that guy
honorary.
nodding. No belly button.
Yeah. Don't know how a show was made out of a kid with no belly button. I think he was like an alien or something.
I think he was an alien.
Yeah, I never watched it,
Or
but
maybe
there's
an-
an honorary out there. that
Oh my God.
ended.
Okay. And then Firefly. I feel like, oh, yeah, wait, I see a hand.
You know, Firefly got its ending with the movie.
Yeah, that's true.
Mine from 1996 is Space Above and Beyond. And so you got to old up to know that show. But there was one season of Marine meters who were fighting aliens.
Ooh, Space Above and Beyond. What channel was it on?
It was on Fox back in 96.
I was alive in 96, and maybe I wasn't allowed to watch it. That's cool. I'm going to have to look into that. It is kind of cool, too, if you get those one-season shows, because then you know, like, okay, I'm not going to have to sit down and watch. Like, there's a reason I'm not going to watch Lost at this point. I'm just not. I don't care how many times people are, you got to watch Lost. I'm not. It's too long.
Yeah.
You had your hand raised. Yes. What was it called?
I don't know if you ever woke up in the middle of the night as a kid and it was on Adult Swim, but it was like a twist on those old like claymation
Yeah.
shows. Except the show is based around really a dad, a family, right? Early it's about dad and Oral.
Oh my God, I watched this show. You just
And Oral. And basically Oral took the life lessons a little too seriously.
That show is effed up, man.
Do a whole bunch of things that were like really dark and just bad.
What it is it his dad kind of I don't want to say the word on the podcast.
The mayor of the town with the double life, he's gay. Like, he's like, it's a huge
my God. You just like unlocked a memory for me. I was like, what show are you? Oh my God.
I've never heard of that.
Adult Swim canceled it for being too dark.
Yeah, it was dark.
Oh, that's rough.
No.
I feel like you could probably find it on YouTube now. Okay, I can't say the words. Moral oral. Moral oral. Oh, it's on Hulu? Oh, damn.
Interesting.
Aren't all the Adult Swim things on HBO?
Oh, I mean, actually, I don't know, let me know.
Dude, I love those Adult Swim shows. They're all just so, they make you really uncomfortable, but then they sit with you. And you
HBO Max or Max.
Oh, it's on HBO Max. Okay, I was like, that's a little bold for Hulu, but I like it. I respect it. Oh, man. Okay, just a few more shout outs of shows that were gone too soon. We already mentioned Freaks and Geeks and Firefly. Deadwood, My So-Called Life, Pushing Daisies, Popular, which I really loved. Agent Carter, pour one out for Agent Carter. Luke Cage, we already kind of mentioned the MCU shows, so they might get a little second life. Santa Clarita Diet. Oh, I see a hand.
I feel like I've heard of that.
Santa Clarita Diet?
Because it's like a dark comedy.
Yeah.
Drew Barrymore's character turns into a zombie at the beginning of the series, and she has like a life, just a daughter, she has her husband, but like her husband has to like, realize like I have to get her flesh, I guess, because so much, and they're like basically neglecting their child. Like, you're trying to keep your mom's secret.
Oh, who amongst us hasn't needed to bring a loved one flesh every now and then? Come on. I started that show and then for some reason just fell off, but I love Drew Barrymore. I think she's just a pure sweet baby. So, Better Off Ted, Jericho, and Sense8. As we got a shout out in the audience.
wait.
Oh, she's got another one. Girl Scout
I
Honor.
did. Yeah.
Yes, Nicole.
Correct me if I'm wrong, please, audience. But I've been seeing this all over my social media. I have not watched it, but didn't Ted Lasso just end, or was that just a season?
It just ended.
Or is it just a season, or is it the series?
It's the series. Oh, is it a maybe? Oh. There might be a
Are you like on the
spin-off.
production team? You sound suspicious over there, Cheryl.
Cheryl's not going to tell
Yeah,
us.
she sounds a little sus.
She's leaving as our producer to go
Yeah,
be a producer on
yeah,
the
she
next.
sounds a little sus.
I did hear that they might replace.
No, I just didn't know if it was
Ted
the
for
series or the, because I know that's only been on for like a few seasons.
another.
I
That
feel
might
like.
be one of those things that people would argue ended at the right time, though.
Okay.
That might
okay.
be one of those things where, they told the story that
Okay.
it was supposed to tell.
Fair. I haven't seen any episodes, so it just popped in my head.
Yeah, I know a lot of good shows just ended right now. Barry, Succession. I feel like Barry went the appropriate amount of time, too. I don't know where else they could have gone with that show. But yeah, I don't know. Is there a way we can get our favorite shows to stay on TV a little longer? I guess just kind of. Or do you guys, if you see a new show be announced on Netflix, do you immediately watch it or do you wait for a couple seasons to get in before you're like, let's see if this actually lasts? Or do you guys just binge?
Depends on what the description is.
Okay. All right.
Fair.
That's fair.
Yeah. Yeah.
You risk it,
Yeah.
Andrew?
I gotta wait for recommendation. There's too much content. I need somebody to tell me what to watch.
He says there's
Yeah.
too many recommendations.
No,
Or there's too much content. He needs recommendations. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll watch the trailer, and like if the trailer hits me, I'll be like, okay, cool, but
Oh, man. We watched one show on Netflix. What was it called with the superheroes? Oh, I shouldn't even have mentioned it. There was one season of a show on Netflix that we watched, and it's all of these superheroes who are like older and trying to help the next generation of superheroes. And at the very last episode, you find out that one of the guys who was one of the good guys all along is the bad guy, and it was canceled.
oh,
To be fair, this show really sucked. Josh Duhamel was in it, and he's really nice to look at. Jupiter's Legacy? That's a stupid name, too. Stupid name for a show. Yeah, we have enough, and it wasn't dark enough. It wasn't like when you watch The Boys, if I'm gonna see a dark superhero show, I need it to be The Boys. I need to see wieners and heads blowing up. Okay? Because that's like what you're getting when you watch. You don't watch The Boys, do you?
Invincible.
No.
I just want to show you
I know what it is.
I
Like
want to show you a
my,
collection of clips from that show.
I've seen Jackass.
Please
I
don't.
thought you just called her a little angel baby.
I know, but I want to corrupt her.
She acts like I'm like a pure angel or something. Like
No, you're feral beast, and I know it. I know your dark side.
I've seen stuff.
I've seen stuff, okay? Zoe 101 got really dark for a minute.
Yeah, I know how she got pregnant.
The stork came and put the baby. It's
You know,
it knocked up when
Arcadia.
they're like asking the little girl, "Do you know where babies come from?" And she's like, "They dig and they dig and they dig and then they pull up the baby." That's exactly right. That's exactly right, Nicole. All right. On that note, I think we're about done here. Thank you all so much for joining us. We are the Pop Culture Junkie podcast. We're going to wrap up. Nicole, where can the lovely people find you on the socials?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Nicole_Eldridge and on Twitter at NAEldridge14.
Love that. You can find me, Shauna Trinidad, on Instagram and TikTok at Shauna Trinidad, Shaunatrinidad. You can find all of our podcast info at popculturejunkie.com. You can find the links to subscribe on all of your favorite podcast platforms. Please support us by rating, reviewing, following us, downloading an episode but never listening to it. Follow us on Instagram, any of the above. It really helps us out. We also have a Patreon where you can get exclusive content such as pictures of Nicole's toes. If you want direct links to all of us, there's a little scanny guy right there. Just take a pic of it, follow all of our junk, and make sure you come back next time for another hit of pop culture.
Entertainment.